Hi guys, it is Thursday morning. It is the first day of our epic 4-day voyage. First up, a bit of provisioning. I say 4-day voyage with tongue-in-cheek because we're just going to be checking out some areas in the fjord, maybe a few islands, but we do still need some provisions.
Lots of provisions.
Yep. Some of this, a little of this, a bit of meat, a bit of yeast. This is what that looks like here in Denmark, but we'll also get some of the dry stuff. Let's get a few of these. Ava loves these things. We've made it back to the boat, and you'd think this would be for a lot more than 4 days, but we are actually only going for 4 days. Before we're ready to leave, there are a few things we need to take care of. Chief amongst those, get Obelix's new mainsail ready. I've never had the pleasure of owning a brand new sail before, so this is all very exciting. Now to set up the sail, all we really need to do is just to add the patterns. As you just saw, the battens are secured with just a bit of Velcro here. Very easy to get in there. There are 3 left, and it is just a matter of raising the sail a little bit, adding a batten, and then moving on to the next one. And that is the new sail up. She looks mighty fine. While I've been putting up the new sail, Ava's been busy tidying up down below. We just grabbed a couple of showers.
Yep, because for the next 4 days there's going to be none of that.
Nope, and as far as our timing for leaving now, well, let me show you why. Normally the marina is a nice and quiet place, except once a year when it gets turned into a party central for 3 or 4 days. I don't know how many people attend this, but it is thousands upon thousands, and there's gonna be almost non-stop music blaring out of here for the next 3 or 4 days. Not to sound like a huge Scrooge, but it is kind of like being stuck at a party you can't go home from, and well, that just gets a little bit tiring. There is one last thing we need to do before we're ready to untie the lines, and that is to flip this sign to green. That indicates that this spot is now available. We're facing pretty much right into the wind, so that means we can go ahead and untie the aft lines first. Turns out the belt for the starter here was a little bit loose, so I've just tightened it a little bit. Now let's go ahead and give this another go. There we go. We will be back in a few days. It looks like we chose a great time to leave the marina. That is gonna bring a lot of rain. And here comes the rain. We were a little bit cautious about putting up too much sail because of those clouds, but it looks like the majority of them have passed now. We just made it through a tiny little squall, but it looks like we got rid of most of the rain now.
I'm a little bit hungry. I'm a little bit sleepy. Just kidding, but I'm a little bit hungry.
Well, here comes a little bit more rain.
We grabbed a mooring ball for the night. Lynn and Larry Paraday described this area as sailing through a farm. We can see why. Everything is lush and green, and there were always cows grazing along the shore.
Or a loose connection, but it might be this thing. I don't know if it's not getting power or if it's just because I'm testing the wrong connections, but I can't see anything on the back of it. So I guess we'll have to resort to the interwebs.
We have internet?
Yeah. For whatever reason, I disconnected the autopilot at some point. I don't know why, but we'll just reconnect it.
Oh.
That sounds perfect. With the tiller pilot fixed, it's going to be a little bit easier for us to sail up to our next destination. That is only about 4 hours away, but still, it's nice to have a tiller pilot. If you're not familiar with a tiller pilot, it is a very simple doohickey. It basically just connects to the tiller, and then that is what steers the boat. It's going to be pretty straightforward. There is not really a lot to worry about on this stretch. There is a ferry that's going to be crossing here, so we need to keep an eye out for that. But other than that, it should be smooth sailing. And seeing as there's absolutely no one else around, we might as well sail off of the mooring ball. There is very little wind today, but that's okay. We're still doing around 3.5, 3.6 knots, so that's perfectly fine. As far as the entertainment on today's flight, we're going to be making new mooring lines. I think a little earlier I mentioned that it would take 4 hours to get to our destination for the day, but that was based on the weather forecast and not the actual weather. As you might be able to see, we are just barely moving, but that's okay. It's really nice out here. We've got about 7 nautical miles to go, and as you can see by the GPS fart up here, we're doing about 1.6, so this is gonna take a while. We might be going nowhere fast, but at least we've got 3 new dock lines. There are a total of 4 lines. This is the 4th, and each of them have 2 back splices at each end. And that is a somewhat hideous looking backsplace. Despite it not being the prettiest thing in the world, this should keep the ends from fraying. When the engine is not running, we don't really have any options for charging stuff here aboard Obelix. A long time ago, I bought this little collapsible solar panel doodad. This is actually the first time ever it's seen use, but so far it's doing really well.
Right now we're pulling into Limfjorden. Leo. To see if there's anywhere to stay, but there seems to be a lot of people. So we're gonna check it out.
So we wanted to stay at this little marina at Limfjorden, but it was pretty packed in there, and I think we would rather just have a night with the 2 of us than being in a cramped, tiny little marina. So now the plan is to head over to the monastery you might be able to see there in the distance and drop the anchor. After a futile but ultimately pointless search for a shackle or some other swivel-like device to connect the anchor to the chain, we decided just to go ahead and splice the 2 together as a little bit of an emergency fix, because I seem to have left everything else at the marina.
We've been at this anchorage for a couple hours now. It's been really nice. The sun's been out. It's been warm. We've just been laying around and reading. So now I think we're gonna go cook some dinner. We are making homemade tzatziki with some potatoes grilled and some chicken kebabs.
We're going to be cooking the potatoes in the bottom half of an omnia stove. Ava's going to use this to bake a cake or some kind of bread, maybe tomorrow, so you guys will get a closer look at this.
Getting out some extra water out of the cucumbers. I'm going to put it in this paper towel over here and squeeze out all of the juice. Official potato mixer.
Potatoes are done and the chicken is cooking. Dinner is served, complete with mood lighting. Dinner consumed, it is time for a bit of freshening up before it's bedtime. And how freaking lucky am I to have a fiance that don't mind showering in the galley.
What are we doing?
What?
What are we doing?
We're resetting the anchor.
Uh-oh.
That's okay. Better now than in the middle of the night. A nice tug in reverse to set the anchor, and we should be able to sleep nice and sound tonight. Good morning, guys. The wind is gonna shift to a little bit of an unfavorable direction later today, and we did have a few dragging issues this morning, so I've just gotten us underway. It is almost 5 o'clock in the morning. It might be early, but at least we're making decent speed. For us to be able to leave the anchorage this morning, I had to cut that little splice I made yesterday, but it held fine over the night, so everything was good. A few hours ago we picked up a mooring ball, and unfortunately since then the weather forecast has changed. More precisely, the wind direction has changed, which has made this spot pretty bumpy. The wind was supposed to come from over there, but instead now it's coming from right here. It seems like our best option right now is to head back towards the marina, possibly tie up in the yard. We'll see what happens.
Starting to rain!
You gotta love summer in Denmark!
Woohoo!
We're motoring back to the yard where the cement boat people are gonna help us tie up alongside them. And the reason we're motoring is because I don't want to put us on a lee shore on the sail, and also the new mainsail is incredibly nice and crispy, but also very slippery, and I don't want to attempt to wrangle that in any kind of wind, so we're motoring.
It's 5 o'clock now. We are barreling through the waves at a speedy pace between 1 and 2 knots. The GPS is saying that we should be into the marina by 7 o'clock. We have some very sad news that all our bedding is very soaked right now. It's definitely coming in from the hatch.
Out there in the horizon, we can just barely make out the festival. The good news is we've made it into the yard. That's really nice. It's nice and quiet in here. We've tied up alongside the good cement boat. The bad news is there was a leak from the forward hatch, so we have a ton of laundry to do. All of our bedding from out there is drenched in salt water, and for it to ever become dry again, we have to wash it. It got very late last night before we were done doing all of that laundry, but we slept really well here at the yard, and I put on the reflex stove just to help dry out everything. Of course, that means the boat has basically been a sauna all night long, but better dry and warm than cold and wet. I doubt very much that our slip in the marina is available yet, because there was another boat tied up there last night. They've probably been partying all night long, and it's only about 9 in the morning. Despite the fact that we can't get our slip, we might as well just mosey on over to the marina. That way at least we're closer to home and we can take care of the last bit of laundry. Ta-da! We are back in the marina, only after just getting drenched one more time on the short 5-minute motor trip from the yard to the marina. It is summer after all. And that marks the end of our little 4-day adventure. It didn't quite go as we had planned, but it was fun, and I think we learned a few things.
Yeah, and we figured out some things we wanted to do on Athena too.
Yeah, to make us more comfortable while at anchor, so that should be very exciting. Yep. And I guess that's the end of this video. Next weekend is going to be back to just regular old boring mess aboard Athena doing DIY stuff. And yeah, I guess that's the ending of this video. As always, feel free to leave a comment down below, and don't forget, if you've enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like. See you.
Bye. Hi guys, today's Thursday. What am I saying?
Of course. I say tongue. Nope. No. I say 4-day voyage with tongue in cheek. A couple of showers.
Sorry. I focused too much on the bag. Okay.
Okay. We just grabbed a tiring.
Party! Let's get a beer! It's almost 6 p.m. We're lost.
Okay.
We don't know where we are.
Okay.
We have to revert to eating each other.
They've probably no, I doubt. I doubt very much.
Booger shot.